Hello everyone, welcome to Even the Scales. Thank you for joining me. My name's Donna and I'm on my channel to talk about the abuse that I've been through today here in Campbelltown, New South Wales. And I just want to talk about the level of cruelty that I just went through when I went out today, and just how depraved these people are that are carrying out the abuse. There's no shortage of people that are willing to do this. They must be paying these stalkers good money to do it. Either that, or they have relatives that have been involved in the abuse that I've been put through, and they send people out to stalk me in the hope that I'll have a mental breakdown that day because of what I'm going through. But the level of cruelty, I've never seen cruelty like this in my life. For anyone who doesn't know, this is happening to me because it's all a part of a health system and justice system cover-up, where there's been police that have committed crimes. There are members of the community here in Campbelltown that have committed crimes. And there are people that work in the health system that have committed crimes. And these people don't want to be held accountable. So what they have been trying to do is abuse me to death. And it's happening in my home, and it's happening when I leave the house, and these people are working in large groups. This is a huge network of people. When I just went out, I was met by hundreds of stalkers on the road and where I went. Lately I've been trying to get a bit more sunlight, so I walked to my appointment from the shops today, and that's also because where I had to go to, it's very hard to get a parking spot. So I thought I'll walk over there, I'll get some sunshine on the way and a bit of exercise. And, I knew it was going to happen because it's been going on for 20 months, but I was stalked by people from every single direction. Every single minute that I was out, I was stalked by stalkers on the road and while I was walking and at the place where I needed to go, and in the shopping centre that I had to go to as well. These people come from everywhere, and it's because they know I'm an empath. I think I talked about that on the last video. I think I may have talked about the fact that I'm an empath, or on one of the videos, one of the recent ones. And they know that I have a low toleration for cruelty. And, that's just something that, anyone who's a real empath will know that we don't tolerate cruelty very well. And this is why they're being so cruel to me. And I'm just constantly being provoked by these people. They're trying to bring up things from my past constantly. They're trying to make me relive traumas that I've been through from the abusers that I've had over the course of my life. Abusers that have been in my life, including a corrupt cop. A lot of the abuse today was around that cop and what he's done. And this is what I mean. It's just so depraved. And there's elderly people and there's women helping these abusive men. It's unbelievable how many of them there are out there willing to help these abusive men. They must be being paid, or they've got relations or friends that have been involved in carrying out a lot of abuse, and they're trying to help them. But that cop, he's committed very violent crimes against women, very, very cruel, violent crimes. And he hasn't been held accountable. The justice system don't want to acknowledge what this person's done, I guess, because it looks bad for them. And I also reported a pedophile in 2020, and that person is still living in a community as well. But a lot of the abuse today was around this abusive cop, and the abuse that the psychological abuse that they're carrying out is so sick. This cop has committed violent crimes against women where he's got other men involved. And he does this for his fun in his spare time. This is something he does. And I think he's probably doing something on the black market, on the dark web, to do with those violent crimes that he's committing against defenseless women. And a lot of the abuse was around that crime. They try and be as depraved and they try and stoop as low as they possibly can when it comes to the level of cruelty, when it comes to the psychological abuse. It's just sick. It is so sick. It really is. I can't believe that there's people this sick. I didn't know that. I knew there was sick people out there that committed really dark crimes, but this many people, I had no idea there was this many people willing to be this cruel. And it's like they deliberately send women with daughters to carry out abuse just to say, look, here's a mother carrying out psychological abuse on you, and they've got a daughter, and they don't care less. They don't care less what you're talking about. I just seen a woman being cruel to her child in front of a whole room full of people. She was cruel to her child. The child was very distressed, and she was allowing this child to do that. And the reasons that she was allowing that child to do that were even more sick. It was because I know what the meaning was behind what she was doing, and it's absolutely sick. And I just really can't believe that there's women out there this disgusting. And then where I had to go today, they sent stalkers to that area because my phone's hacked, my vehicle's tracked. People know where I'm going. They know where the appointments are that I'm going to. And, these people knew what I went through this morning with this neighbour downstairs as well. I made a video this morning to protect myself from her. And where I went, they sent stalkers everywhere. And there were two women sitting behind me. They sat, they were there deliberately to carry out psychological abuse, and they were being cruel. And so were the staff where I was. They were too. I don't know how they're getting so many people to be a part of this. I don't know how. They've got to be paying them. That's the only thing I can think of. I just can't believe what I just seen. I just can't believe what I went through. And, I don't cry about it at the time because I'm out in public, and I don't cry about it in my home because what's the use of crying? What's the use of crying to myself? There's people viewing into my home illegally that want to see me cry. They want to see me hurting. But when I talk about it like this, and I know that there's going to be people listening, I want people to know, this is the only way I can let this out. This is the only way that I can talk about this is on this channel. And naturally, when I talk about what I'm going through, I'm going to cry. that's why I don't cry when I come home after I've gone through these things, because I've got to try and stay strong, because these people thrive off weakness. They do. They thrive off it. They thrive off weakness, and that's why I have to stay strong. But what I just seen people do, I just couldn't believe it. And I mean, it was mostly men, but there was a lot of elderly people and a lot of women with children, and I think they're doing that deliberately. There's people viewing into my home 24 hours a day, and it's extremely difficult to live like this, and I need urgent help. When I go to sleep at night, I want to talk about this because it's a way for me to just, let some of my emotions out, and because there's no one to turn to for help. When I go to sleep at night, there's people viewing into my home. And I have a throat condition. I have something in my throat. And there's a lump there, and I'm not sure what it is. I've had to have a scan done about it. But when I try and go to sleep, it obstructs my breathing. And it makes me make this noise. And it's very embarrassing because it sounds like a pig. It sounds like I'm grunting. And it's very, very embarrassing. And these people know this. And last night, it happened several times when I was trying to go to sleep. And they know, because they're watching my heartbeat on a monitor, they know that my heart beats fast whenever I get embarrassed or whenever I'm, experiencing stress. And I was embarrassed. I'm really embarrassed about it. But, it's a medical condition, and I can't trust people that work in the medical field. Over the past, probably for many years now, I haven't been able to trust people that work in the medical field because they're involved in this abuse, because of crimes that they've committed. So, I just have to hope that these people are going to do the right thing and tell me if there's something wrong. And I had other conditions as well, and when I go out, that's another form of abuse they use. They put me through abuse based on, things that I have had to go to the doctors about and have tests done. They carry out abuse, and they make out like I have got something really serious, and they haven't told me. That's what they do. Like, just to make me think, that I've got something, to make me worry that they haven't told me that something is very serious. And today they were carrying out abuse, like, based on, that noise that I make when I'm going to sleep. And this is why they watch me in my home. They watch me in my home so that they can find ideas to put me through abuse. So, as much as it's hard to talk about this, I want people to know just how cruel these people are and what they're doing. Because I need urgent help here. I need urgent help. These people are viewing into my home illegally. They're tracking me. They're stalking me everywhere I go. And there's hundreds of them. And the Campbelltown police were just out there just then when I was walking to my appointment. They were out there stalking me as well. They made their presence known on several occasions while I was out. So, they're encouraging this. They are, it's happening because of them. It's happening because of what they've done, the Campbelltown Police. They stalked me this morning. I spoke about it in that video this morning. And then they stalked me again when I just went out then. And it was about 3 times when I was out. So I just want to, I want people to know what's happening here. My family are involved in this, and I'm realising more and more that my family have been involved in this since, like, the people that brought me up, they've been involved in this my entire life. I'm realising that I've been lied to my whole life. And it's all been done because they stood to inherit my inheritance if they can get rid of me, or if they can get me that way where I'm suffering from a health condition or mental condition that is where I'm unable to take care of myself. This is what they're trying to do. This is why the community here is being paid to abuse me. The justice system, the health system, my family, my landlord, St George Community Housing, the neighbours that are involved here, my family, my so-called family and extended family members, they're all involved. When I went to this place I had to go today, they deliberately asked me things like, is there anyone you'd like to put down on the form for your, in case anything happens? They do this kind of thing. They make a point of doing things like that just to make me feel, because I know I've got nobody. I've got absolutely nobody. I've been purposely isolated. And the community that's involved in this are trying to abuse me to death. There's no family to call on for help. They're involved. So this is what the justice system and the health system have teamed up with my family, landlord. Everyone's got something to gain out of it. Money, inheritance, people not having to take accountability if something happens to me. So that's really all I want to talk about today, but I just wanted people to know the level of cruelty and that there's children out there being abused by their own mothers just to try and make me feel that hurt from the cruelty that's happening to that child, because that's what happens when you're an empath. You feel other people's emotions. You feel them very strong. And that's what they're trying to do. They're just trying to be as cruel as they possibly can because they know that I'm an empath. So, thank you if you've listened to this video. And if there's anyone out there that can help me to raise public awareness about this abuse, please help me. If you can help me in any way to bring these people to justice, please help me. Please help me because I need help urgently. Thank you for listening.